And when you see stronger supports, the one thing that even if people say, well, you know what, the Olympics aren't the be all and end all, and I think they're great, but whatever, the value inherently in sports, where you get people involved in athletics, it's a very good influence. And if it's not for the sheer notion of competing or making friends or having fun, it also keeps them out of trouble, away from the corner stores late at night and what have you. I think the value in investing in sport is it provides so much for young people, and it keeps them away from so many other things.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, really, you know, when it comes to talking about budgets and talking about provincial funding, there's a lot of competition from a lot of good causes. I mean, the healthcare system needs funding, the education system needs funding, and the government is under pressure financially. We understand that. But you hit on it. Sport is not just about sport. Sport is about health because it's preventative. It keeps people healthy. It gets kids off the couch. It makes sure that people are active and reduces some of the causes for expensive treatments in our healthcare system. It's educational. I mean, sport is part of education. It's part of learning about life and about the world around us, and it's part of community development. When we host a BC summer games or BC Winter Games in a small rural community, there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that are brought in there from athletes, from coaches, from spectators, from parents. I mean, this is about community development. And it's also, you know, it's about reaching out to some of the kids that are potentially at risk, just as you mentioned. You know, like there's more than enough stories of athletes who can point to sport and say, you know, if it wasn't for sport, I really would have gone down the wrong path and might have ended up in jail or on drugs or something like that. So it's good for, you know, for social development also.
But now it is political, and you have to get political, Bruce, because you need to do some lobbying if you want to see this money either kept in place or increased. But the reality is, and I'm sure you're well aware of this, there are competing interests for all this money. You're certainly not alone, or the organization is not alone in wanting support.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and we recognize that, and that's why the Thumbs Up for Funding Sport program is out there, to say to the provincial government, thank you, and sport matters. We're trying to elevate the importance of sport and to government and to ask them to reconsider their plans. There's no budget in place yet, and so there's still time for them to reconsider this, and there's still time for them to decide to fund sport at previous levels, and that's what we're asking for.
This is going to be a battle, though. This will not be an easy win.
Well, I don't imagine it will be, but it started off well. We've had excellent response from within the sports system. We've got a website, www.ThumbsUpForFundingSport.ca, and we've got a system there where we can send e-cards to the Premier. And we've got a Facebook page. We've got a facility for people to upload pictures with their thumbs up to visually say that they support sport. We're working on a letter writing campaign. This is an important time to send a message. It's a message of thanks, but it's also a message of please keep investing. And so we're working hard, and we're having good successes already.
Along with yourself, talk about some of the other athletes that have come forward or people that we might know or have heard about who are joining this campaign.
Absolutely. So some of the Victoria-based athletes that you'd know, Adam Creek, Ben Rutledge from the road, both from rowing. Christy Richards, who's on our mogul ski team, she sent us a thumbs-up picture from the top of a ski hill in Europe. These are athletes that they're very recognizable and very well known, and we're getting good response from athletes and from the community too, because it's not just from the athletes that we're looking for support, it's from the coaches and from the parents, because if the funding's not there, eventually the expenses are still there, and they just trickle down to parents.
Well, and we've seen that. I mean, this past year's been particularly tough, not just for amateur sports, but for the arts. Any number of groups have felt their funding cut or had it eliminated completely. And the big concern is, once it goes, it never comes back. So how do you position yourself to be a recipient of that money?
Well, I think that we have to continue to come back to the benefits of sport. It's not just about sport. It's about education and healthcare, community development. These are all priorities that government has set, and these are all things that are important, and we can play an active role, the sports sector, meaning when I say we, the sports sector plays an important role in advancing the goals and priorities that government has, and sport matters to many of BC's citizens. And so what we're trying to do is politely tell government that, yes, sport matters, and please continue to fund and invest in sport at the same levels you have before. It's
going to take a critical mass. You're going to need to get enough people moving forward to catch the eye of government, and that doesn't happen easily.
No, it doesn't. And so this is where we're sure appreciative of being on this show and helping us to get the word out. And we really encourage any of the listeners that are out there, if you've got a child that's in sport, if you are involved yourself, or if you're just passionate about sport in general, please go to our website and send a message to government that this matters to you.
So what's the timeline? How urgent do you need to get this campaign mobilized?
Well, pretty quick. As you know, the games start in less than a month, and we certainly don't want to be running a campaign of this nature before the games. Besides, it wouldn't really do us that much good because everyone's going to be focused on the games during February and March. Budget's due in March, so this is the decision time right now, and so we're trying to rally as many supporters as we possibly can as quick as we can.
You're going to need some heavy hitters like yourself. And so once you get enough people coming forward, you get all those photos, where do you take it? I mean, do you go to the legislature? Do you ask for meetings? Do you have public displays? What does it look like? How will it manifest?
Well, I think that the nice thing about this is as we get more and more partners that are involved with this, provincial sport organizations and other groups within the sports system, they're going to have lots of contacts and ideas and resources to help us get this message out. We really rely on our partners. We have 3,500 members, but we're a small staff and a small board, and we need the help of our partners. And this is where we're really encouraged to see them stepping forward and saying, yeah, we want to support this. What can we do? But I think that we will have succeeded if in the midst of all the fun and excitement of the Olympic Games, when government is meeting with medal winners and congratulating some of our successful BC athletes, if they remember back to this campaign and they say, you know what, I'm so glad we invested in sport because, you know, this person wouldn't have won that gold medal if it wasn't for our investment. We can't stop that. That's when we'll know we've been successful. It's that trigger and that memory goes back to this campaign, and they say, yeah, you know what, when it comes to time to sitting at the cabinet table and reviewing budget documents, we have to give our personal thumbs up for increased sport funding and for return to sport funding.
Well, and it would fit within the parameters of what we've heard from not only this government, but every government, that this is the right investment to make.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, if you look at the way that it affects the youth of our province, if you look at the way that it affects, you know, and it's not just youth. We have a lot of senior athletes. We have a lot of athletes that are in their 70s, 80s, 90s that are competing, and they rely on the funding that goes towards BC's senior games or that goes towards their provincial sport organization, be it curling or athletics or swimming, and they rely on that funding so that they can have competitive opportunities. And so it's not just the youth that is turning to this. It's good for all of BC, for all of them, all of our demographics.
Talk about the website and where people can go and get more information.
Well, again, it's at www.ThumbsUpForFundingSport. It's a mouthful, but you'll remember it. .ca, and you can go there and you can send an e-card. We're also encouraging people to write an email to government. You can write to the Premier. You can write to Minister Chong, and to ask them to reconsider the decision that's outlined or the plan that's outlined in the service plan that would see a reduction in sport funding. And it's kind of all hands on deck right now.
Bruce, thanks for your time and best of luck in your campaign.
Well, thank you very much, Murray. I appreciate this opportunity.
More than welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bruce Deacon, a well-known Victorian, retired Olympic marathoner, now the board chair for BC Athlete Voice. Again, that website, ThumbsUpForFundingSportPart2.wmv. You're listening to Victoria's News Authority, CFAX 10.